Hi, this is Ollie Hines, aka Diamond Oz from MetalUnderground.com. I'm very privileged and honoured to say that we're here with Ashmadi from Melechesh.
How you guys doing?
Probably the best thing to ever come out of Jerusalem. So,
After Jesus. Oh no, he's not from, I'm joking. He's not even from there. So.
No, he's Bethlehem.
But yeah, Bethlehem, right? Here. Not far, it's just like 10 minutes away.
Oh, okay. So the tour about halfway through now.
Yeah.
How's it been going for you?
We're having a good time, you know. We do what we always do best. Playing what we execute on the CD live and making it sound better live than on the CD. So.
Well, it's going to be my first time seeing Melechesh,
Oh, yeah?
so I'm really excited.
I'm going to make sure I'm going to play extra good. No, it's going really good. We're having a good time. And
Sweet. Obviously, you're out on the road promoting Enki,
Yeah.
which is phenomenal. It's
Thank you.
Phenomenal
Thank
album
you.
is the only word I can describe it. Has most of the critics' reviews been the same?
Yeah.
And
It's
the fan
actually
response more important?
the fan response is great. From the critics' point of view, it's been really good. I mean, entered several charts, and even like The Guardian was writing about it. That's one of the best albums from the Middle East. And was that The Guardian? Yeah. And you know, a lot of non-conventional media outlets also start talking about it, which was very new to us in a way, because you know how it is in the metal scene. It's always the metal magazines and stuff that keep it together. It's a community, but there were different types of general media outlets that were praising the album as well, which is new. Yeah.
Well, it really is just such a well-rounded album. There's so much extremity to it, but in its way, it's very beautiful.
Yeah.
Especially like the closing track, the 12-minute.
Oh yeah, that's a pleasure.
I was actually just listening to one of the instrumentals from the Epigenesis before the interview started. But and that's always been such a brilliant staple of Melechesh, I think, is to bring those elements of Middle Eastern music that people might not have heard otherwise to metal.
In a way, you can say like if there's no electricity or some EMP attack or we travel somewhere in town, I think we'll still have a job.
Yeah.
We can still do that kind
Even
of
if there's
music.
a power cut, you can just do it. I'd actually love that, that'd be great. But in keeping with the Middle Eastern music discussion, I've seen some interviews before where you were talking about racists in the metal scene, which is a small but still not welcome influence. Would you say in bringing Middle Eastern music to a more Western audience, you've done a bit to combat racism?
Well, I don't know. I mean, like in general, look, man. In general, it's all good, you know. And metalheads, they could be quite conservative, but conservative doesn't mean racist. They're conservative about music, and they could be quite open-minded, and they like to hear different kinds of music. With us, they've been very generous. They enjoy it. Don't forget, what we're doing is not like a gimmick. We're offering it as a bona fide metal band, rock-rooted metal band, you know, plug and play on stage.
Yeah.
Discrimination, I won't call it really racism. Sometimes it's because of misinformation, which is still not tolerated by me. Like, they would think I'm of an Islamic Muslim background or a Jewish background, and my family are actually of a Christian background, but that doesn't matter.
No.
You know, but you still hear it and see it, and you're exposed to it. Look, there are limited people everywhere in the world. It's called upbringing, environment they're in. I pity such people, but I think when people see us play with conviction, and it's just another part of the world, you know?
Yeah.
And heavy metal is just a big community everywhere. And the proof is people can get along, go out, have a drink, talk about music, no matter where they're from. Well, maybe if they weren't into metal, they still need another boundary, because heavy metal is a subculture, a universal subculture.
Yeah.
So maybe our music bridges gaps. I don't know. I hope so. It's a good thing, no?
Yeah, absolutely. So with that in mind, obviously later on, I believe you're going with Niall into quite an extensive Russian tour.
After this, yeah.
So rightly or wrongly, countries in the East, like Russia and some of the Eastern Bloc countries, have a reputation for a strong presence of racism. Has that ever bothered you, or is it something like we'll go there and fun?
No, we'll do our thing, and I don't know how it is in the metal scene versus not the metal scene. I've known many bands that played there before, so we'll just do our thing. And oddly enough, my family are mainly Armenian, which technically was part of the Soviet, but there's Armenians who are a diaspora from abroad. That's the ones we are.
Okay.
I think even the president or something of Russia is of an Armenian heritage, but a dumb person wouldn't know that and wouldn't think that way anyway. So I'm just reflecting here.
Well, in keeping with the Middle Eastern link, I know the album was recorded in Istanbul. I think the album.
No, not this one. The one before. No, wait. But you're not very far off in the area.
Yeah.
Epigenesis was recorded in Istanbul, but Enki we recorded in Athens.
Oh, right.
So we wanted to stay somewhere Mediterranean, where it's east and west, and somewhere we felt comfortable, and plenty of sunshine. Yeah.
So, in which case, Epigenesis seems to have quite a big Turkish influence, because not only did you record the album there, but the video for Grand Gafas was in the cisterns of Istanbul.
Yeah.
Which was really exciting to me, because I'd been there like a month before I saw the video.
No way.
I'm like, I know that place.
I've been there. Yeah.
Was there any like red tape you had to go through to?
Well, it's not red tape. I mean, they were really cool about it, but it's you got to pay a lot of money to rent it from the Ministry of Culture. But it is available for rent. It's not necessarily impossible. They were quite cooperative.
Cool.
And it was after closing hours, and so they let us do it. It took us like, I think, 12, 14 hours to work on it. Yeah,
that's good. It's a great video. It looks amazing.
Location
really
makes
captures
it good.
the location's majesty.
It looks very cool. I like it.
You were saying again in another interview that in Istanbul there's a great metal scene, which perhaps people wouldn't really.
That's very ironic, because it has bigger metal scenes than many places in Central Europe.
Yeah.
More bars, more stuff. But it's because I think they got more travel restrictions to come to Europe. People wouldn't know that.
Yeah.
Don't forget, it's a really big city, huh? So there are a lot of nice bars and stuff. I had a good time going there, actually. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a fantastic place.
Yeah.
The only band I know there is Pentagram,
and I really like them a lot. Yeah, I know some of the guys, and they're really, really great guys. But the music's, I like it a lot. Yeah.
Music. I mean, obviously it doesn't sound like you guys, but it's a little bit grouped together. It's bringing influences. From
it's using metal and rock and Eastern music, but that could be transposed in many different ways. You know, just like any metal band which has blues roots, you know, it could be transposed in many different ways. It's up to the composer, I suppose.
Cool. Obviously a lot of your lyrical inspiration is driven from Sumerian, Mesopotamian mythology, amongst other things.
Yeah.
To keep using that as an inspiration, is it just a case of researching and finding things you didn't know? Or can you find parallels in the modern world?
Yeah, definitely. That's a good question. First of all, the whole area is so rich, I don't think we can ever cover everything.
No.
So there will never be shortage of ideas, philosophies, or myths.
Yeah.
But a lot of those myths anyway are metaphors. And of course, you as an artist or as a composer or a person who writes the lyrics, you can have your own touch, your own interpretation. So that's also adds to the dimensions. We have a few songs that have parallel meanings to what's happening now. I mean, look at the song Lost Tribes from Enki. the palm, the eye, lapis lazuli, and let's say from the epigenesis, the magician and the drones, from emissaries, leopard, Jerusalem, they all have like double or even triple meanings, but you don't go out and just explain it, because you gotta leave the listener to also be part of the creative process and picture things as they're seeing it, you know. And
well, that's what makes it art, you know.
yeah, you know, leave a bit of personal touch for it. Let the lyrics make images in their heads, and if they read between the lines, maybe they'll see something more meaningful.
Brilliant. Well, you mentioned the Lost Tribes there. Obviously, they had a guest appearance from Max Cavalera.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
He's a great guy. He likes our band. We end up meeting each other, talking about music. He was always, you know, supporting us and stuff. And the song is angry and multidimensional. Also, with I wanted different vocals.
Yeah.
And damn, the guy can't sing. You know, he got a set of lungs.
Oh,
so it was a great privilege that he did it. Him and his wife, manager Gloria, went above and beyond to make it happen, despite of their schedule, and they tried their best to make it fit with our schedule, and he did it, and I appreciate it. It turned out very good.
It did indeed. It's a fantastic song on a fantastic album. To tread in somewhat controversial waters, you being of Armenian descent and Syrian, but being from Jerusalem, which is hotly contested as well as religious and holy city. I believe it's officially classed as being in Israel. Is that correct?
Officially, in the media and among people, yes, but in international law, there's a part of it that's pre-67 war. It's not my business. I'm just saying it's not, and that's not my business. It's between them. But so a part of there's East Jerusalem and West Jerusalem on a legal term. I mean,
yeah. So what I was going to ask you was, being in such a debated area and not being an Israeli, have you faced discrimination from the authorities for your ethnicity, not just for your music?
Like whenever I'm out and doing my things and the way I look and act and stuff, it's normal. You live a normal life. But there is some systematic demographic issues there.
Yeah.
But they're not against me. They are just there.
Yeah.
And if you don't fall in category A, then perhaps by accident or by default you're in category B, where some things then change. And like in every country in the world, there's good people and bad people, and you know, it's you and your luck, I guess. Every country has its vices.
Yeah. I say I think people kind of take their anger out on the Israeli people sometimes when they see what's in the news rather than the government.
Exactly. It's not the people. This is politics. It's like business, you know, and it's not good business. I think everybody's a victim of politics.
Absolutely.
You know, Israel got, you know, people who are misinformed or overzealous or idealistic or whatever it is, and they could think this way, but they got also people who are like that and like that and like that, and they think that way, like everyone else, and it's unfair to lump anyone in one category.
Yeah.
The people have their own minds, you know. Some might be swayed by media, and some might not be swayed by media or by another type of media. So it's very complex, but there's good people everywhere. I got most of my friends in Israel are Israeli, you know, and I love them and they love me, and it's unconditional, you know. We get along, we are always hanging out together, and we know the problems are there. And I got also some of my best friends who are Palestinians, same story. And when we're all sitting together, we're all people sitting together. So people confuse populist propaganda or politics or hearsay with realities.
Absolutely.
But there are harsh realities as well.
Yeah.
To say they don't exist is extremely naive. But that applies to several places. And that place is not a secret, is a troubled place. Yeah. And I've always been, in a way, stuck in the middle of it. And I hope one day everybody just could use that buzzword coexist, which somehow is foreign, I feel.
Yeah.
I hope everybody just gets along and do their shit, you know.
Yeah, it's something definitely that it's a path and a solution that belongs in the hands of the people who live there. Everybody who doesn't live there has an opinion on what needs to happen. It's the same with Ireland.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
And everyone goes, oh, well, if they did this, and it's like, well, you don't live there. So
but it's so pragmatic and easy to say that. But when there is a solution for coexistence, everybody will benefit.
Yeah.
Unless you're living in a Lord of the Rings delusional state, I won't touch that state of mind.
Yeah.
Not, in a delusional state of mind, I'm not touching that. That stuff fucking scares me, to be honest.
Right. Well, lightening it just a little bit. Obviously, so you are from Jerusalem. You moved to Amsterdam, I think.
Yeah,
You moved to the Netherlands.
I moved out since, but yeah.
What was it about the Netherlands as opposed to Britain or France or Germany that appealed to you?
Nothing. It was just a circumstance. There are a lot of universities that were offering me to go study, you know, because education is an export for a country, by the way. It's a service export.
Yeah.
I thought the Netherlands, okay, it's not too far from Jerusalem. They know how to speak English, which was made my life easier in the beginning, made my life hard to learn the language, you know. And I got my ex-bass player used to live there, so it kind of like all fell in that way. Yeah, if I came to the UK, it probably would have been much easier lingually for everything. But this is how it happened. It was just a circumstance. It was supposed to be temporary, ended up being 17 years or 18 years or something. Then I moved to Germany.
Okay.
And then now I'm temporarily residing in Jerusalem.
Okay, cool. That's probably as good a place as any to wrap it up, because I'm sure you're getting bored of me now.
I'm not getting bored of you, man. You have very interesting questions, but...
Thank you very much.
Thank you for the interview.
Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it.
The first band will play soon, Embryo. Go check them out. They're a good band.
Definitely.
They're
You too. Go check out Embryo. And check out...
And Melechesh. Hello.
And Enki. Enki's relatively cheap on Amazon. Go buy Enki.
Cool.
Trust me.
All right, guys. See you on the road.
Thank you.